Welcome to another episode of the Baby Daddy Chronicles. This is Taroy Jackson, man, your future favorite baby daddy. And today, I have the original
baby daddy.
Baby daddy, my guy Tyler. How we doing today?
Chilling.
You chilling?
Late night vibes.
Late night vibes. You know, it's like almost 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning. And we knocking this out for y'all, man. How's your mental doing?
I'm good. Not gonna lie, I'm good.
That's good.
Coming off of part 1 of Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got part 2 this weekend. So
Okay.
Chilling.
You chilling?
Yes, sir.
We vibing. All right, I ain't mad at that. My weekend, my bad, not my weekend, but my mental straight.
I can tell you was over here asleep on my damn couch. I'm finna extend the couch to your ass whenever you come over here. So your ass ain't on the road sleeping shit. Knock the fuck out. Knock the fuck out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do be knocked out, bro. I definitely do be knocked out, but I'm good, man. I can't complain. So let's get into the crevice of the episode, right? The original episode we recorded, I may release it at a later time.
Right.
You was a full-time father. Now you have transitioned into a weekend dad. How is that transition?
Truthfully, I wouldn't say I'm a weekend dad.
Okay.
I just don't have my kids full time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dad always,
Okay.
but I just don't have my kids with me all the time. It sucks. Like right now, it's dead quiet. I mean, it would be dead quiet if their ass was here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
2 o'clock in the morning, but I mean, it's a change.
Mm-hmm.
It's a change. I would definitely say that.
How have you been adjusting to the change?
Not gonna lie. At first, it was hard. Because I'm so used to them being here, so it would be like moments where I'd be like, "Damn, it's a little too quiet. Let me go in the room and check on them," and
Mm-hmm.
they're not in the room. To the point where now it's like in the house, like I'll clean up their room and their room door stays shut. Like I don't even want to look in their damn room because I know they're not in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean the adjustment period is still going on. So I mean I usually get them like every other weekend. KJ's here pretty prevalent because I mean I take them to school throughout the week. So it's a ongoing process.
Okay. What have you done to try to fill like that time void?
You can't, truthfully.
Mm.
I don't really, regardless, it's not like I do a lot of things anyway. Like I stay home, I play video games, I go to work, I go work out. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go to flag. I don't really do anything anyway to fill a void. So, I mean.
So do you see them every weekend or is it every other weekend?
Right now, it's like, I'm pretty sure if I was to ask for them every weekend, I could get them every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're getting withheld from me, but to where I'm not gonna say it's an agreement, but it's like an understanding that she'll have them a weekend, I'll have them a weekend to have like kind of a like let me give you some time to yourself type of deal. Mm-hmm. But for me, like I could care less, truthfully. Like unless I have something planned for the weekend that I really don't, I'm not gonna say that I don't want them for, but unless I have something planned for the weekend, which I normally don't, like they can come over every damn weekend. Truthfully. Okay. Like if we just being for real, because I rarely go out of town. If I go out of town, I'm going out of town for flag. Mm-hmm. I don't go on trips. My birthday is usually around holiday season, so I mean, not like I do a lot of things anyway. So, okay.
How is the relationship with the kid's mom? That's mom said it all.
I would say this. It's an ongoing process.
Okay.
Primarily because we don't have I'm not gonna say we don't have the. Well, I'm gonna say it. We don't have the best of communication.
Why is that?
Why?
Is it on your end or is it on both of
It's
y'all
on.
end?
It's on. I would say it's on past occurrences. So I like prime example. I've walked into 2022 with the like a. I'm not gonna say like a renewed state of mind, but I'm like in a state of mind of like, you get what you get from me. Like,
Okay.
not to say like what I was dealing with her before, like I would do things out of spite, or I would lie and shit like that. But it'd just be like, okay, I'm doing it out of protection type of deal. Versus like now, like I could care less because like I'm doing everything out of necessity for the kids. So prime example. Earlier in the month, like beginning of January, what I was gonna do was let her know my schedule for January, and not my work schedule, like my extracurricular schedule. So obviously, so she knows I play flag. She don't necessarily know when I have flag events, but she knows I play flag. So I knew I had them this weekend. Was like, okay, perfect. Well, I got nationals this weekend, so they gonna be with me. So just in case you asking questions like, this where they gonna be at, this what they gonna be doing. So if you reach out to me, you can't get in contact with them. It's because I'm probably on the field playing or whatever, what have you. So communication was going pretty good earlier this month. And then all of a sudden, it was like a spaz moment to where it kind of like turned into like for better lack of words, attack on my character, on my character as a dad. So it turned into a situation where it was like basically, to sum everything up, like money was involved, but it's not really like money. It's just like some shit that like from past that she felt like I owe her money for. I'm like, yo, like I don't owe you money for this, but it is what it is. Cause I mean, you were staying here under my roof, rent free, bill free, all this other stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, whatever. I'm not the type of person to hold that against a person. It is what it is. So I'm like, yo, when I got the money for this, you'll get the money for it. But it had nothing to do with the kids. So that turned into, oh, well, you know, I'm doing all this stuff for them, and you act like you don't even help me, and all these other things, and you need you could get another job, and you could do this and you can do that, you can help out with the boys. And I'm like, first of all, I've never not helped out with them. If I don't have it on me to do it, then I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, I don't have the money. Like KJ needed a lineup. At the time, my money was down. I had just paid rent. I was back on rent. So I had backed up on bills, trying to catch up on shit. So I didn't have like $10, $15 just laying around like, oh, hey, here you go, whatever. I was waiting for my check to come through, whatever. Told her straight up, I don't have the money for it, whatever. Paid for it, whatever. So that turned into, oh, well, you going to flag, you always got money to go to flag, you always got all this other stuff to do what the fuck you want to do, and I'm busting my ass and all this other shit. And I'm just like, nobody's telling you to like do all this extracurricular for them. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it for them, but out of necessity, like as long as their needs are met, I'm good. I'm doing what I need as a father. Like I understand they have wants. Like,
It's a big difference between wants and needs.
Yeah, like now that I'm a father and I'm a parent, I'm understanding that. Like my mother used to always tell me that or whatever, and I'd be like, well, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Like I want this and I want it now, type of deal. But now I have a full understanding. Like as long as their needs are met, like as long as they have clothes on their back, as long as they have shoes on their feet, as long as they have a roof over their head, as long as they have food that they can put in their mouth and eat, I'm doing my job as a father. I'm pretty sure some other things that go along with those needs, but as long as those needs are met, I'm doing my job as a father. Do they always have the best of shoes, the best of clothes, the best of these things? Currently, probably not.
But they half the time when they're young, they don't care about that anyway.
Exactly. So that turned into like a whole little back and forth moment. But it was like, it wasn't even a back and forth because it was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not finna go back and forth with you. It just turned into, all right, cool, whatever. I've been doing overtime. When I get this bread, I'm going to slide you this bread or whatever. So then that way, whatever needs to be talked about between me and you, if it don't involve the kids, it don't need to be talked about because I have nothing to say to you about you. If it's about the kids, cool, we can discuss it. Like, I know KJ wants to get into sports. I want to get KJ into sports. So lately I've been doing a lot of overtime so that I can have that extra bread to put him into like I-9, YMCA, little stuff like that. Same thing for Theo. So when I had a bread for that, I'm going to slide you the bread. So going back to the original point, what I was saying was a couple of weeks ago before this whole little argument stuff happened, whatever, in my mind I was like, you know what I'm going to do? God put it on my heart. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start taking like $25, well, $50 out of my check, 25 for Theo, 25 for KJ. And I'm going to just set it to the side. I'm going to like make a cash app or whatever, send it to her. This for Theo, this for KJ or whatever. And just send it to her like every time I get paid, hey, this is for them. So if they want a toy, they want to do whatever when I'm not around, this is for them, strictly for them. And when the moment came up for me to do that, because the pressure had got put, not I'm going to say pressure, but because that had already got brought to me, it put me in a spot where I'm like, well, I'm not finna do this shit because I'm going to still do it. But it just, I don't like people putting like a pressure on me that I already know I was about to do. Because then when it gets done, it's like, it seems like I was doing it because you told me to do it. When I really was going to do this shit, like point blank period for my kids anyway. So, I mean, it's just the communication is not the best between us because it's like a differencing of how things get communicated between us. So,
has it always been that way?
I mean, yes and no. Because, I mean, at the same, like, it's like one of those things where the communicate, I feel like a lot of things between me and her stem from me and her relationship. It has nothing really strictly to do with specifically the kids. In my personal opinion, if you ask her, it may actually do with the kids. But that's just my feeling.
So how do y'all get it to where it's just strictly for the betterment of the kids?
I think that's where it's at now. That's the, I'm not gonna say that's a struggle because when the kids were living with me full time, I never asked her for anything. She had WIC. She had the opportunity when she was living where she was living. She had to pay extra rent. She had to pay, well, she was paying rent when she was staying here. She didn't have to pay rent, but when she moved out the first time, whatever. So she was paying all these unnecessary bills that she didn't have to pay or whatever. But the whole time she was away, I ain't asked for nothing. Like, if she decided she wanted to put food in the house, she put food in the house. I didn't ask like, oh, hey, by the way, like we struggling with food. Come pull up. I know you got WIC. I know you got $100 and something in WIC or $300. Like, spend half of that on your kids. Come put some food in the fridge. No, none of that. Like, okay, boom. I need to get my shit together. I need to put in some extra work so I can keep food in the fridge for the boys. That's what it was. But I just feel like where it's at now is kind of like, because I'm not with them full time, it's like a expectation like, oh, well, because I got to do this, you got to match it. And it's like,
not really, because when you was here.
Not necessarily. Because I'm because where I'm at with it is example that they're with her majority of the time. They have clothes, they have shoes over there with her. Over here, when they come over here, I tell her all the time, when they come over here, they just need the clothes on their back. I don't need you to send a care bag with them. None of that. When they come over here, just bring them with the clothes that they have, because I have clothes for them. I have shoes for them. I have toys over here. They got a TV over here. They have what they need over here. I will provide it over here. I don't need you sending anything over here with them for you to have the right to be like, oh, well, I need you to give me this back. Oh, remember when I did this for you? I need you to give me. No, I don't need none of that because I can provide all the same things that you can provide over there. I can provide over here too. So,
what so far, right? Because for the listeners that don't know, Theo's your blood, KJ's my love.
Yep.
What has life taught you? What have they taught you about being a dad?
What have they taught me?
Yeah.
That there what the kids have taught me, that there is no difference in one being by love, one being by blood. What society has taught me and what the outside has taught me, or what the outside encourages is, and if we being truthfully honest, if we being real brutally honest, is when I have conversations with like y'all, when I have conversations with my mom, when I have conversations with other people, and they like, oh, you know, if you get in a sticky situation, like, what you gonna do? You know, Theo your blood, like, so what you, like, if some shit go down, what you, how you gonna shake with that? And it's like, I fully understand that, but I would still be hurt that if I got stuck in a situation where I had to choose, it would be really hard for me to choose, if we just being completely honest.
Okay.
In my mind, mentally, I'm like, if I got stuck in a situation where I had to choose one over the other, I wouldn't be able to choose, and I would let both of them go with her, so that they wouldn't be split apart.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a really fucking hard decision for me to do, because from her standpoint, where she stands on, you know, she's not originally from Florida, she's from Georgia or whatever, and I know we've had discussions of her moving back and all this other shit, and I know if she was to move, she would want to take both of them, and I, as a father, I know my rights. I know she would need like consent for her to take Theo out of the state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, I mean, that's a legal battle I really don't want to get into. You know what I mean? But that's something that not necessarily I would give up my rights as a father for, but I would be, you know what, for the betterment of Theo to be around his brother on a very consistent basis, damn near 24/7, I would allow for that to happen.
So let's say hypothetically that happens. Like, what would the structure look like? Like, how often would you see them?
I would find a way to see them bare minimum once a month, but I would try and go like twice a month.
There we go.
Knowing that with the current schedule I have, knowing that I have weekends off or I have Saturdays off, I would probably be going. I'd probably be going to wherever she would move. If it was as close as Atlanta or wherever they were at, I would be going there probably every other Saturday.
Okay.
To make sure that it is what it is. Like, even now, it's hard. Like, I call them on a fairly consistent basis every night or whatever. I mean, I have nights where I just don't call them or whatever. But that would kind of like contribute, like, damn, like calling them just isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would want to see them. I would want to interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
school. How do you handle with KJ being in school? Because he is in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He in school. That's it. Like, it's not like any type of difference. Like, I mean, he come over here I pick him up on Sundays, take him to school on Mondays. He gets out early on Wednesdays, so I pick him up from school on Wednesdays. He stays here. Thursdays, I take him to school. Thursdays, I pick him up, and then Friday, I take him back to school, and then she has him unless it's my weekend. So,
okay. Give the listener some of the differences between KJ and Theo.
KJ is just like me. KJ is very like mild mannered. KJ just chill. Like he a Sagittarius, so he real laid back. It's really hard to. I'm not gonna say it's really hard to turn him up. If he get around the right crowd, he'll be turned up.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him turn up. Even at his birthday, he was chilling. I'm like, dang,
he's just
bro.
real. He's very just laid back. Like, he can literally be in his room all damn day watching TV and be perfectly fine, or on an iPad. Theo, on the other hand, fuck that. Theo be on a whole nother level of like playtime and movement, and he's so damn active. But I think that goes to him being younger than KJ. But Theo's like literally the total opposite of me. The similarity we have, me and Theo, is, well, my mom says me, Theo talk too damn much. And I talk too damn much as a child. So sometimes I just be looking at Theo like, bro, just shut up, bro. Please. Like, shut up. Like, don't literally shut up, but I need you to stop talking to me in this moment because you talking my damn head off. KJ is very inquisitive. Example being, so this past weekend I'm at Flag, or we at Flag Turner.
So they went with you this past weekend?
Yeah, they always when I go to Flag, they go to Flag. We at Flag or whatever. It's in Winter Haven, so we're driving or whatever, and we go past and KJ smart as shit, like it's ridiculous. We go past the cemetery, and KJ goes, because he called me dog.